New details right now in the search to find a dangerous criminal who stabbed a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy.
New at 6, the call to action to find this man.
There was a last sighting of the individual wearing a county uniform. Supposed to be found with a knife, and he's got a prep and keys as well.
New details on how this dangerous criminal was able to ditch his disguise in hopes of eluding police.
Tonight, the investigators take action to find out if proper procedures were followed when it came to transferring this prisoner. Now, at this very hour, 25-year-old Abraham Pearson is still on the loose. Police say he could be armed and is very, very dangerous.
That's right. The Wayne County Sheriff deputy was stabbed in the neck. He is recovering at home tonight. So what's being done right now to capture this escaped prisoner? Our Team 7 coverage begins with Jim Kirstner. He's live at DPD's command center. So, Jim, what's the very latest now?
Carolyn, as we're moving into the 9th hour plus on this manhunt, 2 questions are being asked tonight. How did this escapee get out of the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, moving from the 7th floor to the 1st floor and out a door that's normally locked? Normally, you would need a pass car like this to actually get outside that door. Number 2, how did he attack a jail guard, stabbing him 3 times in the left side of his neck with a plastic comb? Wouldn't that have been found in a body search? These are questions the sheriff tonight has to answer.
That is part of our internal investigation that we're conducting right now to find out. We have several safeguards in place as we move people throughout the jail system.
The escapee is Abraham Pearson's, also known as Derek White. He's 5'6", 160 pounds. He has a Hot Boys with a Z tattoo on his left forearm. He was last wearing a white T-shirt and brown deputy sheriff pants with a stripe on the side. He attacked a jail guard deputy with a sharpened plastic comb. Not a typical weapon.
We have a commissary that people have to comb their hair. They have constitutional privileges that we have to extend to them. And being able to groom themselves is something that's expected.
The manhunt has included tracking dogs and dozens of officers from every level of law enforcement. But since the escape was planned, officials have not ruled out that he had help once on the outside.
Certainly don't open the door for strangers. Be our eyes and ears.
Now you're taking a live look on the southeast side of Detroit along East Jefferson, not far from the river. This is where the escapee actually crashed a minivan that he used to carjack to get away from the courthouse over on this side of town. Police are asking anyone to be on the lookout with that description you just saw, and they are not ruling out he may have had help here on the outside once he got out of the courthouse. Carolyn, Jeff?
So, Jim, the escapee got away with the police radio. Did that help him as he was trying to elude police?
We did talk about that earlier. We're now being told by police that that channel and that radio were shut down. That did not assist him in any information that he may have been able to get from that radio. A deputy's radio was missing, but they shut it down, not providing him any information. But another wild card is the woman he carjacked. Her cell phone is still missing tonight. Did he have that cell phone to help make contact with someone on the outside? That's still an open question tonight.
I bet they're looking into it. All right, thank you, Jim, for the live report.
Well, the details that are coming out in this case really make you wonder just how this could happen.
7 Action News reporter Smitha Galoki is live on Detroit's east side. And Smitha, it's been a really chaotic day that wasn't just confined to the courthouse, right? It went all over.
Absolutely, Carolyn, and we have been all over alongside police, searching the city with them for the suspect. Now, they were even right here at MLK High School as students were being dismissed with a heavy police presence. Right now, police say they don't want to take any chances on this suspect, who they consider very dangerous. Abraham Pearson, also known as Derek White, was no stranger to the courtroom.
He has a warrant. He has an extensive criminal history as well. Some home invasion, at least 2 or 3 if my memory serves me.
But today, as the 25-year-old arrived at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice to be sentenced for guilty convictions on carjacking, robbery, and felony weapons charges, Pearson turned on an unarmed Wayne County deputy.
No.
he did not have a gun.
No, transport officers don't carry firearms.
Neither the deputy nor Pearson had a gun. Instead, the prisoner had made a knife out of a plastic comb.
They have to eat with them. They have to comb their hair, so they do have access to that.
Pearson used the shank to stab the deputy 3 times in the neck.
After stabbing the deputy several times, the deputy was apparently incapacitated, and he took his clothes.
Dressed as a sheriff's deputy, Pearson made a quick escape from the courthouse, but he didn't keep the uniform for long. The brown shirt was found here, just a couple blocks away under this red Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now there's only a trace of what was left behind and a massive search to find the suspect. And up until just 30 minutes ago, this area that we are standing in right now was part of that active search. We had patrols on the ground and a chopper overhead. Lots of police looking out, trying to find out exactly where this guy is. We, of course, will keep you updated both on air and online. For now, reporting from Detroit's East Side, Smitha Kaloki, 7 Action News.
All right, thanks a lot, Smitha. As you can imagine, police dispatchers had their hands full with this morning's escape. 7 Action News reporter Tara Edwards has more on today's radio traffic.
We had a stabbing of a Wayne County sheriff.
Deputy Police Dispatch Communication reveals the tense moments this morning as they try to track down a fugitive who had just injured a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy after entering court at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice.
Advised on that escaped suspect. He may be outside near the Opera House, they believe. He's wearing I don't have a name or a physical. He's wearing a Wayne County Dep uniform. He's supposed to be armed with a knife.
Law enforcement quickly began blocking off streets immediately surrounding the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice.
So I think I got this whole area cordoned off pretty good.
The next step, police appear to want to err on the side of caution.
Also, Jefferson, we're going to start checking these buildings, or do we want to still hold it down for that K-9?
Hold it down for K-9 right now. Hold it down for K-9 because he did have a county uniform on, so hold it down for K-9.
The escapee had carjacked a gray 2000 Dodge minivan after he took off. It was found abandoned at Concord and Lafayette.
Let's get a command post.
Though police soon had a description of the suspect, he is still considered armed and dangerous.
He's supposed to be armed with a knife.
Tara Edwards, 7 Action News.
Okay, Tara, thank you. Now, the deputy who was attacked during this morning's escape is back at home now recovering. We're told Deputy Harrison Tolliver suffered several stabs to his neck. The 63-year-old will recover. Deputy Tolliver was a Detroit police officer before retiring last December to join the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. For now, his family is not making any statements.
We are learning more about just what may have made today's attack and escape possible. 7 Action News reporter Ross Jones is live with that new information for us tonight. Ross, what have you learned?
Well, Carolyn, initially this morning, Sheriff Benny Napoleon said that understaffing may have been the reason that this attack happened in the first place, but now we are learning that it may have been failure to follow proper protocol that is really to blame. Let me tell you what we've learned tonight. This afternoon, I spoke to Sheriff Napoleon by phone. He said when an officer transports a prisoner from the basement at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice up to the courtroom, he should be met by a second deputy prior to the inmate's handcuffs being taken off. Tonight, it is unknown if that second deputy was ever even there, and if he wasn't, just whose fault that would be. The department is still investigating as we speak. Now, Napoleon also said that the inmate's escape was made possible by a change in security in the building. Normally, the door that he fled through would be inoperable, but because a fire escape on that same floor was blocked because of nearby construction, that door was left unlocked. Just a few minutes ago, an investigator with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office left the deputy's home after interviewing him. He said that given the circumstances, he's doing quite well.
He's doing fine. He's coming on real well. He's going to need a little rest, but other than that, he's doing fine. I can't describe the injuries to you, but he's in very good spirits. Very good spirits.
Now, we are at the deputy's house tonight. We knocked on the door and spoke with a family member who said he is recovering and doing so with his family. He has so far asked that we respect his privacy, and we are doing so. We are live in Detroit tonight. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Certainly understand that. I'm sure he wants to rest and thank his lucky stars that he's alive. Thanks so much, Ross, for bringing us that live report.